Top 3 bands. Mark E. Smith hated. Mark E. Smith was never shy about expressing his opinions. Whether he was criticizing U2, throwing a bottle at Mumford Sons, or taking shots at bands like Pavement, who looked up to The Fall, he was straightforward in his critiques. As the leader, lyricist, and creative force behind The Fall, Smith helmed one of the most influential and prolific bands of the British post-punk movement. He established the band in 1976, and while their mainstream success peaked in the late 80s and early 90s, their influence continued to resonate to this day, particularly among bands like Pavement. The Fall was a hub of creativity, mixing the raw energy of post-punk with rockabilly zest, experimental sounds, and Smith's uniquely eccentric lyrics. They became a quintessential cult band, adored by a dedicated fan base, largely ignored by the general public, and remarkably productive with over 30 studio albums, numerous EPs, live recordings, and compilations. The band's constantly changing lineup was legendary, with more than 60 musicians passing through over the years. In addition to his work with The Fall, Smith ventured into spoken word projects, releasing The Post-Nearly Man in 1998 and Panzer in 2002. Both featured his distinctive voice reciting lyrics from The Fall against experimental electronic backgrounds, enhanced by contributions from band members. A fierce critic at heart, Mark E. Smith established a singular niche in rock music as a provocateur. Here are 3 bands that Smith hated the most. Pavement. Smith was particularly critical of bands that claimed The Fall as an influence. While Pavement openly acknowledged their debt to The Fall in their sound and lyrics, Malkmus, their frontman and cult figure, even referred to Smith as his Wallace Stevens. He voiced his disapproval of Pavement, the California slacker rock icons who drew heavily from The Fall's legacy, wearing that influence on their sleeves in their early work. Despite their homage to his music, Smith never accepted it, expressing his critiques of them in 1993, while they enjoyed rising success with Slanted and Enchanted. Smith labeled them rip-offs, famously stating, "It's just The Fall in 1985, isn't it? They haven't got an original idea in their heads." U2, often considered one of the most successful yet polarizing rock bands, has garnered a significant following of critics over the years and is frequently cited as one of the most unpopular bands of the 80s. Smith's contempt for U2 was unmistakable and outspoken. He repeatedly voiced his disdain in interviews, but his most cutting remark appeared in a lyric from The Fall's 1993 track, A Past Gone Mad, where he proclaimed, "If I ever end up like U2, slit my throat with a garden vegetable," after mocking both Peter Gabriel and actor Ian McShane. Mumford Sons. One of Smith's most comically dark moments was when he targeted Mumford Sons. Recalling an event in Dublin, he described a nearby band's poor rehearsal in the adjacent cabin. "They were terrible," Smith recounted in a 2010 interview with Brag magazine. "I yelled, 'Tell those fools to shut up!' But they kept playing, so I ended up throwing a bottle at them." When told the band was Mumford Sons, he replied, "They were called the Sons of Mumford or something, and they were number 5 in the charts."